Hi, this is Dan here. I hope you're doing really well today. In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about 16th note triplets. Anything that I was doing in the intro that sounded quite impressive was that rhythm. And if you hear Victor Wooten, loads of rock players, Sheehan, they're using this rhythm a lot. Just a quick rhythm recap. Here are quarter notes. Eighths. Sixteenths. Now those are already going quite fast. They figure a lot in funk music and in rock music. 16th note triplets. There are 6 of them in one beat. They sound scary and they look even scarier. But as with any new technique or any new rhythm that's a little unfamiliar, you just break it down slowly and work it up to speed from a very slow kind of foundation, and you'll be fine. So let's look at a few techniques that can utilize this. First up, let's take a look at a slap technique. I'm using octaves on G, so 3rd fret E string, 5th fret D string. And there are loads of ways you can do this. If you think about like drumming and then using different fingers, you can sort of split up the workload between fingers and hands, and you can really get loads of cool rhythms. So let's do this. So break it down really slowly. We've got a thumbed G, and immediately afterwards you just bring your sort of 2nd, 3rd, 4th fingers down just to get a ghost note. Then after that, you've got your thumb coming down and then index coming up, and this is with a closed hand to get ghost notes. When I'm slapping like this in this way, I'm often thinking like down towards the body with a thumb, up away from the body with an index. So it's like you're keeping in the groove of things. That's all that the slap hand is doing. It's not too much. So very slowly. After that, you just do another of that. You can fret the notes to get the actual G notes, or you can use more ghost notes, up to you. But we're getting the da 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 da. You do not have to play 6 16th note triplets in a row. You can go like this. So that's like an 8th note attached to 3 16th note triplets. So we've got a F on the 3rd fret of the D string. That's going to be popped with an index finger. Then we've got a hammer on. And it's that thing again, where you close the hand here and just go thumb, pop. So. And you can put a little G down there. You can use any notes from this. Do anything after these rhythms. Like I said before, just slow things down like I'm doing now. Introduce a drum beat or a metronome only when you're comfortable and you've got the little tiny movements correct, then build from there. Okay, let's try this. Now, it's all about threes here. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That gives you this fast, flowing, dynamic rhythm. So here I'm going to use 3 fretting hand fingers. So we've got thumb. Now that's usually notated with a P. That's pulgar. It's all Latin. So we've got P, index, middle. And we're going to go thumb on the A string, index on the D, and middle on the G. And now what's great about this technique is that you have a digit for each string, okay? So we're going to play a D, an F, and a B flat. So D, 5th fret, A string, and then F and B flat, both on the 3rd fret of the D and the G. I'm actually going to use my little finger actually for the D. Use whichever one you find comfortable. And very slowly it's going to be this. Like that. And quicker it sounds like that. So that's your... I'm going this beat, so it's digga-da, digga-da. Now this has got an application, you know, it's often with like crazy techniques you can kind of think, it sounds good, but where am I going to do that in a gig? But you can get some really cool little grooves with this. You know, a little solo or a little jammed groove, that could sound really good. Just injecting this rhythm into a little phrase makes it sound really effective. So let's go to fingers and let's do... Okay, so there, I'm just sort of doing a G Dorian scale. That's what I'm using to illustrate the points and to improvise as I'm doing this. So... It's a really effective bunch of notes. So I'm going A, B flat, A, and that's the 16th note triplet portion. It's a little bit like the beginning of Donna Lee. So we've got A, B flat, A, and then I'm just coming down the scale. I'm going G, F, D, C, and then B flat, A, G. What about that? So G, F, D, G. So 5th fret to 3rd fret of the D string. I'm going middle, index, and then raking. So that means use the same finger to come through to the A string, 5th fret. And then keep going down to the G. If you start with your index, you do the other way around. So you go index, rake with the middle. Again, you need the timing with your fretting hand. Slow it down. So you could be going. You know, this is sort of a funky thing I'm picking. Just exactly the same pattern on the G, moving to the C, 3rd fret A string, moving to the D, 5th fret A string. All minor chords. You can practice it like that. Okay, one more thing for you to practice using this rhythm with is tapping. This isn't really a tapping lesson. It's not a technique I use a lot of, but you do hear this a lot, this sort of thing. I guess Billy Sheehan's a really good example of someone who might do that. So what we're doing there, you know, if you hear tapping, it generally tends to be that rhythm. So what I did there, I'm just doing a G, A, B flat, the same notes I was using down here. Just now I'm on the 12th fret, 14th fret, 15th fret of the G string. Breaking it down very slowly, we got the tap on the B flat followed immediately by a pull off. Have your index finger or your first finger on the 12th fret as you're doing that. That'll be the note it pulls off to. And then we've got a tap with the 3rd finger on the 14th fret, the A. So very slowly, that's your first 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. And then keep these 2 fingers pressed down. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3. Another tap. Another pull off. And then a pull off. So you've either got a pull off that's done with this hand or done with this hand, and that really is tapping. It's hammer-ons and pull offs. And all I'm doing is a scale. You can move down notes of a scale. So you've got that pattern. Move down 2 frets with these 2 fingers. So now we've got frets 10, 12, 14. 2 frets down with everything. This technique, it's all about the transition. That's the hard part. Diddler, 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 diddler. You know, there's your 16th note triplets. It's used a lot in the tapping technique. By the way, do any of you use tap? Do you want a tapping lesson? Let me know if you do. So I think it's a rhythm that's really effective when used quite sparingly. It's a little bit over the top, but it definitely grabs the listener's ears. It's technically quite a demanding thing to do, so you need to, as ever, slow down. You need to internalize the rhythm. That means that you just know what it sounds like and what it feels like without having to think about it too much. And then it's just a case of building up the mechanics with whatever technique you're doing, whether it's the fingerstyle, you know, like the chordal fingerstyle, the traditional fingerstyle, the slap, or the tapping. Very quickly, there was one technique I forgot to show you, and that's another legato thing using some slides. So I'll show that on the 10th, 12th fret of the G string. I've got a hammer on followed by a quick pull off. Like that, there's your 3, 1, 2, 3. Followed by a slide to the next note in the scale. I've actually moved to G natural minor, why not? So, there's the hammer on pull off, then a slide. You need to have a light touch. And you can do it across the neck, down the string. So definitely something to use sparingly, but it's fun to do. It's a challenge. It definitely strengthens the hand and coordinates them. Accuracy, fluency, stamina, all those things are increased a little bit if you practice this. Even if you don't use it on a gig, it's really, really good for you. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. If you did, please do like the video, share the video, subscribe. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, leave it in the comments below. Have a really good day. See you next time.